Upper Nyabarongo catchment is one of the 4 demonstration catchments where the Ministry of Environment, with the support from the Kingdom of the Netherlands, has started to implement integrated water resources management approach. Integrated water resources management has been adopted by the government of Rwanda as its overall approach to water resources management. The IARM practices have contributed a lot since the start of Water for Growth area implementation project in Upper Nyabarongo catchment, as well as in 3 other demonstration catchments, which include Sebeya, Muvumba, and Nyabugogo catchment. Billions of money were invested in the project, and that has yielded into positive results, which contributed a lot economically and mindset change on the protection of water resources. However, there are still challenges that need strong landscape restoration solutions, especially in the matter of water catchment management.
Nyabarongo as a catchment is driven by many challenges, but most of them are erosion control caused by mainly the high slope of the catchment, poor agricultural practices, and in some areas like Ngororero, like Muhanga and Nyanza, there are some mining sites which are not properly managed, and they add sediment siltation into our rivers. And the other issues are the poor settlement also is causing water coming from different scattered settlement without drainage, and then they increase flooding with water coming from the hillside. If you add water coming from poor settlement, the flooding is increased in the lowland, in marshland. Another issue is deforestation. As you know, Nyabarongo is a catchment with rural areas. We have only one urban city, Muhanga. The rest is rural. And the villages are not well managed and not well implemented, and the households are still scattered elsewhere. And the scattered settlement also continue to drive erosion and those poor management of water. Yep. If you add also the road without maintenance, those roads also increase the flow of water without drainage, and those roads are not practicable sometimes. During the rain season, in some districts like Karongi, like Rutsiro, Ngororero, it's not easy to go there because the roads are not practicable. The issue of road also is impacting on water because they are causing sedimentation, landslide in the entire landscape without any protective measures. It's still a big problem. Last challenge is not big, but it's there. There is the poor knowledge in climate change adaptation. In some districts like Nyanza and Congo, during the long dry season, abnormal season, there is low capacity for adaptation. We need really irrigation, small-scale irrigation, to address issue of climate change. But there are projects for irrigation in marshland, in the hillside, but we need to increase our knowledge in climate change so that some farmers can continue farming during the long dry season to try to increase the production.
Thank you very much. To move on, Rwanda and Costa Rica have recently signed an agreement on environmental cooperation with a focus on payment for ecosystem services. The MOU has been supported by the International Union for Conservation Network and Conservation International. Payment for ecosystem services is an approach that promotes good management of environmental resources to provide ecological services. For the Minister of Environment in Rwanda, environmental resources management requires everyone's commitment.
Availability of water is critical for us to build a prosperous country, and we cannot move forward as a society while some people are living without access to safe and sufficient water. Rwanda should be proud of the progress being made to improve access to water, and we must remain focused on ensuring we reach everyone. Doing so requires us to protect water resources, control pollution, and mitigate flooding. Around the world, those living in rural areas are still underserved, and this is also true for Rwanda. To truly leave no one behind, we need to ensure water, sanitation, and hygiene services are available at low cost and high quality, no matter where people live. By working together, we can build a water secure and a water resilient country. This year's Integrated Water Resources Management Conference is your opportunity to make a difference, to expand your networks, your knowledge, and your impact. Every idea you share, every new approach to increase water resilience, and every new technology that saves water will help us to achieve the goals we have set for ourselves.
Mr. Biluta was speaking at the 2019 Integrated Water Resources Management Conference, during which other side-run conferences on the payment for ecosystem services took place. Under this system, farmers or land owners are given some incentives in exchange for managing their lands to ensure sustainability of ecological services. Rwanda runs from the Costa Rica, which is an exemplary country where the approach was resulted into positive results, and that helped both Netherlands Embassy and the government of Rwanda to tap into that opportunity.
My name is Timo Gaasbeek. I'm First Secretary at the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, responsible for water and environment. Today we have launched here a new approach to restoring landscapes. A new approach here that we want to try out. And what is different compared to other ways is it's the way it's organized. With this new approach that we call payment for ecosystem services, communities have a much more key role as they protect their own lands. And the idea is that people agree on what they're going to do, and then as the plans are realized, people are paid for the work that they have done. So it's much more people's own ownership, it's much more on the pace of that people can do by themselves as a community as they work together. And it really encourages people to look for what's best for their own land, rather than having a standard solution and getting an outsider to implement it and doing it. So it's an approach that was tried out in Costa Rica a lot. It has been tried out in Kenya as well, and we're trying it out in Rwanda to see if we can find ways to make, not just to restore the landscape, but to make the restoration of the landscape more sustainable in the long term.
Is this approach, is this project also included in the Water for Growth program?
Yes, this is part of the Water for Growth program.
But
we are implementing this as a pilot, as part of the bigger program.
At the recent Integrated Water Resources Management Conference, there was Ambassador talked about the Water for Growth program nearing its end.
Yes, that's
and
correct.
now this program, this approach that you have launched today, is it still Water for Growth that is still going on?
It will be started under the Water for Growth program. Water for Growth, the technical assistance component, has worked on the design of the approach together with the Rwanda Water and Forestry Authority. The second component of the program is what we call the IWRM Investment Fund. That is with the Rwanda Water and Forest Authority. So the designs have been made, the approach has been developed, the plans have been made. It will be implemented in the coming 2 years after Water for Growth is ended, but with the ideas of Water for Growth. And what the Netherlands Embassy will do is the Netherlands government is funding another phase of support to Rwanda on integrated water resources management, so that there will also be additional technical assistance over the coming 3 years to continue supporting this approach, to supporting the development of landscape restoration in Rwanda.
Yeah, thank you very much.
guhembwa rero nk'uko nabisobanuye hazaba hariho amasezerano hagati y'amatsinda abaturage bazabishimira. Ayo matsinda nibo bazayitorera bagendeye ku bumenyi n'ubushobozi bw'abaturage bagenzi babo, babe aribo babareberera imibyizi bakoze, aribo babandikira amafaranga bagomba guhembwa. Noneho dukorere na sako, bakorane na sako babe bafite amaliste n'amakonti y'abaturage. Amafaranga azajya ajya kuri konti y'umuturage nta handi gusa, azava mu kigo cyangwa mu karere dukurikije ko amasezerano azaba yakozwe, ajya kuri konti y'umuturage. Umuturage azaba yarigishijwe fata neza ayo mafaranga, kwizigamira, ko ikigamijwe no kuzamura imibereho y'abaturage, ikigamijwe ntabwo ari amafaranga.
Other countries in Africa like Kenya have already started to pay community for ecosystem services, and that has contributed a lot in the environmental protection.
It takes some time. It's not something which actually we can say PES, it can happen within 1 or 2 years. No, it can take sometimes 5-10 years. Yes.
And now, how do you think this payment for ecosystem is the best approach for Rwanda?
Yes, Rwanda can learn from Kenya because from the presentation I've seen in Rwanda is that there's a lot of land degradation upstream in the mountains, and I think borrowing the system in order to engage communities that is in those areas. Rwanda can engage communities and they can go and create awareness that we can really plan at this. If we want these communities also to continue getting their services, they need also to be also participate in terms of planting trees or growing trees in those areas where I've seen there's a lot of soil erosion. So as a Rwanda, the best things actually is to involve that grassroots. The communities is the best people actually as an approach. Even if the government, they have resources, they can support this community so that they can be able to restore these areas. And for Rwanda, it's good because you have also the policy. So the policy you can use, the policy that has been developed for the payment for ecosystem services, that is a good.
Okay, thank you. My name is Rob Nieuwenhuis. I'm water management specialist and deputy team leader at Water for Growth Rwanda. I'm working for Mott MacDonald, who is the lead firm within the consortium implementing Water for Growth Rwanda. You are asking about payment for ecosystem services, and that is a new concept, abbreviated PES, PES, which we are piloting here in Rwanda in order to help restore catchments and enhance water resources management by incorporating the services of the ecosystems which are managed by the inhabitants of mostly the upstream catchments.
The payment for ecosystem services is still a new idea here in Rwanda, if I'm correct. Do you think it will be feasible, it will work, based on how people will react on that?
Okay, so I think it's very feasible in Rwanda. First of all, because you have mentioned PES in Vision 2050 as one of the pillars on which the transformation of the country should be based. And you have the institutional setting for it, with FONERWA playing a key role in making sure that funds can be channeled towards environmental management. So you have the institutional system, you have the willingness of the farmers to be involved, to become ecosystem service providers, and you have the ecosystem service users, mainly the public utilities for water and energy, but also private sector users of water resources. Even the mining industry needs good quality available water. They all have an interest in having water available when and where they need it. And today in the conference, I think all stakeholders have expressed their interest in a scheme for payment for ecosystem services in order to help Rwanda achieve that target of having clean rivers with good water resources availability.
There is an investment fund already in place to start with. While optimistically, the government believes many stakeholders will join the initiative. This investment fund will go together with the commitment of all stakeholders involved in the management and protection of water resources. Mining companies are the ones to take first step towards the well-being of the catchment.
Mining activities are very important for the preservation of rivers and river streams because mining requires water for processing of minerals, especially washing the dirt, separating the dirt from the valuable mineral ores. So water is important for mining, but when mining is not done professionally, it can also cause damage to the river streams and other sources of water. We have witnessed this here in the water catchment of Sechoko, where some mining activities have contributed negatively to the river, particularly those practices that wash mineral ores directly in the river streams. That is a bad practice. It has got to stop because it dirtens the water for everyone else that intends to use it downstream. But in some cases, it has also clogged the narrow river streams and killing off the sources of water. And so what we are asking our partners in the mining sector is to observe proper mining standards and avoid those practices. Secondly, a lot of this has been contributed mainly by illegal mining activities. And because they are in a rush, they are in a hurry, they are illegal, and they don't care many times about even their lives. And so we have been asking for collaboration with the local authorities here to make sure that illegal mining activities are stopped and to make sure that the population here who are part of those who go into those activities understand the risk to their lives, but also the contamination of the rivers when they do this. And we also were reminding people about the mining law, which has got very serious let me say punishments for those who are seen to be deliberately doing mining practices that contaminate rivers and put lives of people at risk. Until now, we have been in the phases of sensitization, awareness raising, and making sure that people understand properly the law and their obligations and responsibilities. But now what we are beginning to do is actually to implement this law and hold everyone accountable to make sure that we are practicing mining professionally.
Thank you.